I have spent some time on the design of the blog application I wanted to build. This is the Visual UML Use Case Diagram. This diagram is helpful for me to visualize some of the things that are involved in this application. Here I have two subsystems that are represented by the rectangles: the blog public-facing site and the admin console. I have two types of actors. The visitors, they come to your blog, they can read your posts, they can search, they can filter posts by categories or tags, they can comment on your post. On the other side, we have authors. They can authenticate themselves by logging in and then write some posts or create some categories, etc. Apparently, there are a lot more these people can do, but I just want to keep things simple as a start. Here I also found some good references on some of the basic UML diagrams. I will leave the link below. UML can be complex, and so the point here is I use it as a tool for me to keep things focused and in scope. May not even be 100% complete or correct in the UML sense, but it's always good to go back and learn more as we go through this. So based on the use case diagram, I brainstormed a class diagram. So these are your business objects or model classes, however you call them. They are POCO. They got a bunch of properties in them. That's pretty much it. One thing I want to point out is I plan to use Entity Framework Core as the data access technology. So this is not a database diagram, but I've marked some of the classes with an asterisk. As you can see, these 5. They will eventually become a table in the database. On the left-hand side, I want to show here we have what's called is a relationship. That's represented in UML with the hollow arrow. So in other words, is a relationship is an inheritance, meaning a blog post is a post, a page is a post, a media is a post. A page is like your about or contact page. A media is like the images that you upload to your blog that are showing up on the page or blog post. The post is the base class. It will store all these different type of posts in the table. On the right hand side, I want to demonstrate two common relationships. In database terms, we're talking about one-to-many and many-to-many. A post can only belong to one category. That's just my rule here. And a category can have at least a post. So that is the one-to-many relationship. So that is represented here. In UML term, it is what's called a has a relationship. That means composition. So a post contains a category. As you can see here, there is your category property. And however, you don't see a list of posts here. That's for a reason. I've decided to not to return this post with the category when we get a category, but I will return a list of posts uniformly through a common set of APIs. So I will demonstrate that later. Here we have another thing that's worth pointing out between post and category is such that not every post has a category. For example, a page is not categorized. So this category ID here will be a nullable type. So it's a foreign key, it will be nullable. And between post and the tag, that's a many-to-many relationship. One post can have many tags, and one tag can be assigned to many posts. And that's typically represented by an intermediate table. So this is the post tag table. Here I want to point out Entity Framework Core, unlike the previous version of Entity Framework, currently does not support hiding this intermediate table. In the previous versions, you don't even need to have this class, the post tag. You just basically have a post and a tag, and then you have your hash set, and then that's pretty much it. But in this case, this is a workaround. We just have to do for right now. I heard on the future releases that they will have this taken care of. And here I have another inheritance situation. I have a base class taxonomy with all the classification properties, and then category and the tag, they derive from that. Finally, here I have a meta table. This is just your key value store, and they store things like the block settings. So this block setting will be serialized into JSON or XML and stored into the meta table as a single record. So this line here without any type of arrow just means association in UML. So with that, I drew a third diagram, which is an ad hoc architecture diagram, just to show you the flow of things. So as the request comes in, what are the tiers that are involved? So I have 3 possible types of clients, most commonly. The desktop, in this case, Open Live Writer is a very popular client that people use to post to the blog. And of course, the browser, that's just your typical web application, your single page application, and could be mobile apps as well. So these requests coming in, the first stop they hit is your web tier. So basically here you have your MVC controllers, you have your web API endpoints, you also have your meta weblog endpoints. All these different endpoints taking the from the different clients requests, and then they pass along to your business logic layer. This is where you do the heavy lifting on the business logic, and typically I suffix that class with the word service. So you would have a blog service, and also that implements the some type of interface, and then they go into data access layer. So here pretty much just we're just doing data access. So this is implemented with Entity Framework Core, and it will persist the data into your database, and that's typically I suffix the class with the word repository. So basically that's it. That's pretty much the overall flow of things to keep things separated. So separation of concern, and I just wanted to keep things simple. This is not a UML diagram. This is just my diagram to get my point across what we're talking about. So the classes I pointed out here, they kind of live between. They are being passed along mostly on this portion here. Once they go into the web tier, I may use a view model to just map over certain things and pass the data back to the clients. Also, this web tier will be our fun.web, so that's the web project, and these 2 layers will both live inside the base class library. So this is just a start. As things become more complex, I may just refactor into more stuff, but this is just to help me get started. So starting next video, I will just I will be building this application. So thank you for watching.